The Shards by Brett Easton Ellis. January. A novel that will stick with you as readers. We all know the feeling of reading a book that just doesn't seem to stick with us. We may enjoy the story as we're reading it, but after we finish the last page, we quickly forget about it. On the other hand, there are those books that we can't seem to shake. The ones that stick with us long after we finish. The Shards by Brett Easton Ellis, January, is one of those books. In this blog post, we'll explore why some ideas, or books, survive and others die, and why The Shards is an example of a book that will stick with you. The emotional power of The Shards. One of the reasons that The Shards is so powerful is because it taps into the emotions of its readers. The novel follows the lives of three characters, each struggling with their own personal demons. Ellis does an excellent job of making the reader feel the pain, the confusion, and the hopelessness that these characters experience. As a reader, you can't help but feel emotionally invested in their stories. Objection. I don't like depressing books. Why would I want to read something that will just make me sad? Counter-argument. While it's true that The Shards deals with heavy themes, it's also a beautifully written book. Ellis' prose is poetic and powerful, and the characters are complex and nuanced. Yes, the book can be sad at times, but it's also hopeful and inspiring. By the end of the novel, you'll feel like you've been on a journey with these characters and come out the other side with a greater understanding of yourself and the world around you. The importance of storytelling. Another reason why The Shards is such a powerful book is because of its story. Ellis weaves a complex web of narratives, each one revealing something new about the characters and their lives. By the end of the novel, you feel like you've been privy to a secret world, one that only the characters in the book know about. Objection. I don't have time for complicated I just want something easy to read. Counter-argument. While The Shards may be complex, it's also a page-turner. Once you start reading, you'll be hooked. Ellis' storytelling is so compelling that you won't be able to put the book down. And because the novel is so well written, you won't feel like you're working to understand what's going on. Instead, you'll be swept up in the story and the lives of the characters. The power of specificity. One of the things that makes The Shards so memorable is its specificity. Ellis doesn't shy away from describing the gritty details of his characters' lives, from the seedy bars they frequent to the drugs they use. Every detail is carefully crafted to give the reader a clear picture of the world the characters inhabit. Objection. I don't like books that are too graphic or explicit. Counter-argument. While The Shards does deal with some heavy themes, it's never gratuitous. Ellis' descriptions are always in service of the story and the characters. And because the book is so specific, you'll feel like you're right there with the characters, experiencing their lives and their struggle. The importance of urgency. Another reason why The Shards is such a powerful book is because it creates a sense of urgency. As a reader, you'll feel like you need to keep reading to find out what happens next. The characters' lives are so entwined, and their struggles so intertwined, that you can't help but feel invested in their story. Counter-argument. But what about the readers who are not interested in novels? How can The Shards be relevant to them? Response. Even if you are not a fan of novels, The Shards can still be relevant to you. It is a story about human experiences, emotions, and relationships. These are universal themes that everyone can relate. The novel can be used as a tool to understand and reflect on your own life experiences. By reading and analyzing the story, you can learn important lessons and gain a deeper understanding of the world around you. Section 4. Use simple and unexpected elements to make the blog post more memorable. We need to use simple and unexpected elements. The human brain is wired to notice and remember things that are unexpected or surprising. We can use this to our advantage by using unexpected examples or presenting information in a unique. For example, instead of just talking about The Shards, we can present it as a mystery that needs to be solved. We can present clues and evidence that the reader needs to piece together to understand the story. This will make the reader more engaged and invested in the story, as they try to solve the mystery. Counter-argument. But won't this make the blog post too complicated and difficult to understand? Response. No. The use of unexpected elements doesn't have to make the blog post complicated. In fact, it can make the post more interesting and engaging. We can present the information in a simple and easy to understand way, while still using unexpected elements to make it more memorable. Section 5. Tell a story to make the blog post more engaging. We need to tell a story. People are naturally drawn to stories, and they can be a powerful tool for conveying information and creating emotional connections. We can use storytelling to describe situations around the shards and how it can be relevant to the reader. For example, we can tell the story of a woman who read the shards and was able to understand and process her own emotional experiences through the lens of the novel. Counter-argument. But won't this make the blog post too long and boring? Response. No. Storytelling doesn't have to make the blog post too long or boring. We can use storytelling to illustrate specific points and keep the post concise and engaging. Section 6. Create a sense of urgency to make the blog post more engaging. We need to create a sense of urgency. We need to make the reader feel that they need to act on the information given in the blog post. We can create a sense of urgency by presenting the Shards as a novel that can change lives. We can show how reading the novel can lead to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. We can also present specific examples of people whose lives were changed by reading the Shards. Counter-argument. But won't this make the blog post seem manipulative and insincere? Response. No. Creating a sense of urgency doesn't have to be manipulative or insincere. We genuinely believe that reading the Shards can be a transformative experience, and we want to share that with our readers. By creating a sense of urgency, we are simply trying to convey the importance of reading the novel. Section 7. Use specific examples to make the blog post more concrete. We need to use specific examples. Instead of just talking about the Shards in general terms, we need to use specific examples to illustrate our points. For example, instead of just saying that the Shards is a novel about human experiences, we can use specific examples from the novel to illustrate the different emotions and relationships explored in the story. Another objection that may arise when it comes to the idea of making ideas sticky is that it might encourage the spread of misinformation or deception. Some people may worry that focusing on making ideas memorable and persuasive could lead to promoting falsehoods or unethical behavior. However, the Heath brothers argue that sticky ideas don't have to be untrue or manipulative. In fact, they emphasize that sticky ideas should be grounded in truth and have a positive impact on people's lives. By using the 6 principles of stickiness, people can craft messages that are both compelling and ethical. For example, let's say that someone wants to promote a new health supplement. Using the principle of simplicity, they could focus on a single benefit that the supplement provides and communicate that benefit in a clear and straightforward way. Using the principle of concreteness, they could use specific and vivid language to describe how the supplement works and how it can improve people's. By using the other principles of stickiness, such as credibility and emotional appeal, they could create a message that is both memorable and trustworthy. In conclusion, the 6 principles of stickiness outlined in the book can be powerful tools for anyone looking to communicate ideas that stick. By focusing on simplicity, concreteness, credibility, emotions, stories, and unexpectedness, people can create messages that are both memorable and persuasive. By addressing objections and concerns along the way, we can ensure that sticky ideas are also ethical and truthful, and ultimately have a positive impact on society.